Hey everyone, I just wanted to share with you a script that I just had developed working with a very talented developer named Michel Fridnge. And it essentially helps to automate some of the typical grids and guides that we use in InDesign. Um, and I know we have the option when you normally set up a file um, to set up things like number of columns and gutters and your margins here, which you'll still do. And there's also under layout, you can change margins here and gutters, which you'll still do here. But one thing I wanted to show you that this can sort of help automate things. So if you've not used scripts before, if you go up to Window, go down to Utilities, scripts will be right there, and then it'll open up this window. I actually have a shortcut to it here. And what we can do, you'll actually want to use the user folder, the folder named user. And I already have a few scripts in here, so that's what this list actually shows. But I'll drop in the script that we're going to be using right now. So I'm going to go to my file where I have the script. I'm just going to copy it. That's all copied. And then I'm going to right click here. So I'm using Windows, so it says Reveal in Explorer, but on a Mac it'll say Reveal in Finder. Click that. So it opens up the scripts panel. So here's that same list. I'm going to paste, and that's the new script. Okay, so we'll close that up. When I open this, we'll now see at the very bottom, that's the new script. Okay, so this is how we're going to use it. So this will work on either if you have this set up for pages or for spreads. So first off, let's do pages. So right now, this is set up for, let's take a look. Our margins are 1/2 inch all the way around, and our gutter is that size. So remember, this is the key thing. Click on your master page that's applied to this particular page or set of pages. So I'm going to click, make sure you double click. So that's what this is displaying right here. And if I come down here, and notice here in layers, we have nothing yet. And then I'm going to come here, and if you go down to the script and double click and hit OK, you'll see all of a sudden, and this is tailored to your particular margins, these magenta lines that were around here, tailored to divide up based upon whatever division of the page you want for your grid. And this factors in the margin dimensions and also the gutters. So you have the gutters here. So you can see, so this is just cut in half both ways. But when we flip over to layers, you can see we can also show thirds, quarters, fifths, sixths, and even twelfths. So it can get pretty fine. And notice how this is all customized for that particular division of the margin, the dimensions of the margins, and the dimensions of the grids. One key thing to note here is, let's say you want to update this. So what we can do, and I'm just going to go up here and change this to layout, margins. Let's change this up a bit. So let's just make this like 2 inches for the top margin. You can see that drop down here. And let's change up the gutter. Let's just zero out the gutter. I'll hit OK. Now, I'm just going to make sure I'm still on the master page, which I still am. And I'm going to run the script again because I want the grid to update to this particular margin and new dimensions for column. So I'm going to double click. And what we see here, again, is the script for halves. So you can see how this updated, and now everything is split in half. And we go to layers, we we see that's halves. Let me hide that and we'll show thirds. So everything is again updated for your new margins and new gutter dimensions. So this will also work on spreads. So if I zoom out here, you can see a typical spread setup. And what I'm going to do is basically the same thing, but just to make this a little bit different, let's go ahead and bring in our inner margins just a little bit. And let's just make these pretty wide, wide gutters. Okay, so you can see how on the inside we have more distance here than around the outside of the other ones. So you might usually have some more space here for a spread because that's the center here, right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up to the master page, make sure you double click, and I'm going to shift select both of these, both the left and right side, and I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. Oh, one thing I should have done, I should have updated these margins and columns actually on the master page. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to change, whoops, I'm going to change the inside to, I think I had 2 inches before, and let's name this 1 inch. Okay, so I'm on my master page. Let's run the script. Let's see how it goes. So you can see we have, again, it's split in half. We have that 1 inch gutter, and then we also have, and it's a little hard to see unless I hide this, we still have that wide inner margin. Everything is split as far as your grid. So this is in thirds for the margin dimension and your gutter dimension. So I usually go up here to change my margin and gutter dimension. I believe you can also go into properties, edit page, margins and columns, and you're back to the same window. So 2 different options, and I will provide the link, download link for the script itself if you'd like to try it out. All right, so I think this is pretty cool. I know you can do this manually, but you know, if you have a pretty neat script that you can run that can save some time, why not? All right, so this is a cool script for InDesign, and check it out.